How's the view?
It's good. Okay.
We're on?
Yep, we're on.
Hey guys, sorry about that. Ran into some technical issues. A computer without enough battery to do more than one class out here in the park, and another computer that wasn't quite signed into the MSY YouTube channel just yet. So we kind of had to get that sorted out. So we apologize. We are 10 minutes into class now. Again, I really apologize. So we're going to go ahead and get started with a couple of things. We do have a couple of people here. We have Mr. Johnson here who wanted to help out with some of this when we can. You're really big.
You're tall.
Oh, yeah.
We can't see you.
And also, we have...
Mr.
Yes? Just giving you a second.
Okay.
We also have Dr. Kramer here who wanted to be here and watch class and, well, be a part of everything she's created, go figure. And so, anything you want to say?
Nope. Just want to see Taekwondo.
This is like her first Taekwondo day since all this stuff has started, guys. So we're got some stuff to do. She wants me to do some kicks and stuff with you. We know how much we hate kicking as Taekwondoists. Oh yeah. Of course, we have Mr. Hansen here also, and a Mrs. Hansen who's going to be running the live chat and everything. Make sure you tell us who all's here, what ranks we have. Dr. Kramer definitely would love to hear from you guys. And let's get started. I hope you guys are already warmed up because I'm not going to warm up for you guys right now. One of the big pieces that I've been struggling with teaching you guys throughout all this is some of the details. So with your kicking, you got to keep a few things in mind. Get your knee up, hands up, look where you're kicking. But we're going to work with foot position a little bit today. With Mr. Johnson here, well, he's big enough that you can kind of see everything. That'll help a lot.
So
start.
Miss Carr is here, and the Sorianos are here.
Awesome. We got some red belts.
So far,
I'm hoping that.
I bet you we have a birthday boy.
I was gonna say, I bet we have a green belt out there. He is a green belt. Right?
Nope, he's a high gold belt.
High gold belt. I know that we have a green belt somewhere around here, but we'll go ahead and get started. And Mr. Johnson, Miss Hansen, you're gonna have to tell us kind of where we are on the camera.
You guys are good right now.
How close can we get?
Can I get?
You're still good, Mr. Hansen.
All right, excellent.
Keep going, Mr. Johnson.
I'm good.
Keep going. About there.
Okay.
That's about
just
your
got to
hair.
get our range here, guys. Like I said, we didn't really have all this set up today.
Mr. Malik is here.
So excellent. Okay, Mr. Johnson, face that blue pole if you would. Do we have the blue pole in the picture?
Yes.
Okay, good. So we're going to start off with a front kick. Foot position, guys. Foot position, foot position, foot position. So, Mr. Johnson, if you would do a front kick on that pole and hold it up there, please. So, when you guys are doing a front kick, you're hitting with the ball of the foot. That's the bottom of the ball of the foot, slightly towards the toes. Okay, your toes should not be hitting, but your heels should be pulled way far back. He's having problems, guys. He's a little out of practice. We all are right now. So the ball of the foot should be on your target. Your heels should be way far back. And if you look at his ankles right here, it's nice and flat. This is how you should be doing a front kick. Okay. So whatever you are kicking at, hopefully it's not doors and walls and TVs and people. Okay. But whatever you have for a target, I'm going to have you guys right now. You're going to do 20 front kicks. That's 10 on each
Stifles
leg.
are here too.
Who?
Mr. Stifle.
Oh, awesome.
Stifles.
Excellent. So 20 front kicks. That's 10 on each leg.
And
It
Miss
doesn't matter if
Matthews.
it's lead leg. It doesn't matter if it's your back leg. Okay. But 20 front kicks. You're concentrating on that foot position. Go. Okay. You can stick it there for a moment and yank it back. So it kind of locks out. Okay. Pops out and in. Out and in. Okay. So I can keep going with this. All right. As you guys are doing this, you're making sure your knee comes up. You're making sure your hands come up. You're making sure you're looking where you're kicking. Okay. Making sure that your other foot is flat on the floor with your knee slightly bent. Good balance. And even that awful thing that I keep mentioning to some of you guys, posture. You're not leaning backwards. You're not leaning forwards. Okay. You should be tucking in and curling just a little bit as you kick, using those stomach muscles, okay? Almost getting a spear motion out of your front kick, okay? Shoving your hips in, pulling with those shoulders a little bit.
Miss Manriquez is here from Platteville.
Excellent. We're kind of getting everybody from everywhere, guys. By the way, we are using the microphone on a webcam right now, so if you can't
It's
hear
actually
me,
really good right now.
awesome.
We're doing
If you
really
can't hear me, if you can't understand me, make sure you say so, because we were not prepared today and we apologize. But that's okay. So we're going to go on to another kick with the ball of the foot, turning kick. This one's really important to understand here, guys. Okay? When you're doing a turning kick, you're using the same part of your foot as a front kick, but your ankle is not the same. You're not stretching into it. Okay? So can you do left leg for me? Okay? So he's going to bring his knee up. He's going to turn his hips over, all that kind of cool stuff. He's going to extend out. The ankle is bent in this one, 90 degrees or even more if you can, because what you're looking for, again, is that same part of your ball of your foot. But if you stretch out your ankle, let it go straight. If you stretching out your ankle, this is where people start complaining about hitting their toes, is their ankle's not right, okay? This is bad position. This is good position.
Miss Manriquez says she can hear you pretty good.
Excellent. Thank you. I'm glad you guys can hear me. I'm actually worried about that. Bad ankle, good ankle. This is a turning kick position. Okay, so just to make your life easier, we'll do lead leg turning kick. You're going to pick it up, reach out, and pull it out. You're going to do this 10 times on each leg. Okay, go. And whatever your target is, it could be a piece of paper. It can be, okay, it could be a piece of paper. It could be the side of a piece of a pencil. It could be a stick. It could be a tree in your backyard. I don't care, okay? But you want to have a good target that doesn't move for this to make sure that you get that good foot position. Turn one. Yes. Okay. Now, if you're still finding that your toes are hitting, remember the bottom of your foot. You got, every time you kick, you have to worry about 2 feet. You got the one hitting your target, and you've got the one holding you up. If the one holding you up is not turned properly, then the one hitting your target is not turned properly. That's the way things work, okay? When you're doing your turning kick, your head shouldn't be dropping down either. Again, there's that posture thing. You should be standing up as straight as you can for every single kick that you do. Now, my personal favorite, if I could make you guys do 10,000 of these kicks, I would. Side kicks, okay? Mr. Johnson says I can. I probably should. There's not enough side kicks in the world. But, all right, Mr. Johnson, left leg, please. We'll do lead leg. Left leg. Lead leg side kicks for the moment, okay? This one gets tough because there's a lot of little pieces and parts. Your knee should never drop. You're not pulling your knee backwards to go forwards, Okay, you're lifting your knee straight up in front of your shoulder. You're turning your foot and you're lifting your kicking foot. You're not dropping your kicking knee. Okay, lifting your kicking foot to meet your knee. Okay, then you're pushing out. Okay, nice, good bent ankle. Believe it or not, your foot position for a turning kick and a side kick are the same. You're just hitting with the bottom of your heel instead of the ball of your foot. If you're having problems standing up straight, okay, turn the other foot more. Okay, and then look over the back of your shoulder, arch into it just a little bit. That's actually correct. Okay, your hands should be up. Your posture should be up as much as you can, turning those hips a lot, and then pulling all back together. Okay, so one more time. Knee up. Turn your hips, lift your foot, don't drop your knee, and then shove your foot out. That's a decent side kick. Okay? I'd make you guys do 10,000 of these. Okay, this is like the all-purpose does everything kick, I think. All right, but we're gonna do 20 of them, 10 on each leg, up, over, out, in, and down. Okay, you're doing 20 of those. Again, pick your target and go. Okay, we're gonna get to some slightly higher kicks than these. Okay, but for right now, let's get through these. We got plenty of time. So, be up, over, out, in, and down. Okay? Now, as you guys are noticing, we're out at a park. Okay? We're using these poles for swings that are set up. Okay? We're not grabbing onto them. We're not doing any of that stuff. Okay? We're not using stuff for balance except for our other leg, right? All right. Eventually, hopefully starting tomorrow, I'm going to be making some videos so that you guys can actually have something for real to be kicking and punching. We'll talk more about that later. Okay. So, back kicks. Lots of stuff here. Okay. If you think about the way you're doing your other kicks, front kick, side kick, turning kicks, crescent kicks, twisting kicks, vertical kicks, downward kicks, it's you name it, hook kicks. Okay. When you start to turn around backwards, everybody does something really interesting first. Okay. When you're in your L stance, like Mr. Johnson is here, notice his weight's on the back of his leg, his back leg, excuse me. Okay. Most of it's sitting here. You can see this nice straight line here. Okay. And then his other leg is stuck out.
Hang on.
Mr. Johnson's adjusting for you guys. Sorry.
No, I'm adjusting.
Okay. So,
Explain that again.
Stance, okay, you get this nice straight line back here where his weight is. As soon as he starts to turn around, he starts leaning backwards. We don't want that. Okay. Your target's over here.
Mr. Hanson, can you back him up to the pole?
Okay, we're backing up, guys.
There. Now all of him fits in the camera.
I told you guys he's big, so it should make it easier to see. So, as he starts to turn, he starts leaning backwards. We don't want that. Okay, your target is here. All right. So what you have to do is, as soon as you start turning your front foot, you have to pull your hips towards that foot. Now he's got his balance on this leg. Remember, he's turning backwards to kick with this leg, so he's got to get his weight off of it. Okay, so he turns his foot. He pulls his weight onto this leg immediately as he pulls the other leg up. He looks over his shoulder, because we always look at our target, and he kicks straight behind him. Okay? This ground is actually kind of goofy, guys, so give him a little bit of a break on the balance. Okay? So, all right, go ahead and give yourself a little more space so you can, all right? Now, back kick should have your foot kind of the same direction as a front kick. Okay, except you're not hitting with the ball of your foot. You still got that nice bent ankle in there. Okay, but in a front kick, your foot goes up and down just like this pole does. In a back kick, your foot should do the same thing. So he turns, He puts his weight on that leg, picks it up, looks over his shoulder to kick, and now his foot is sideways. We don't want that. That's actually a spinning side kick, not a back kick. Okay, try it again. Okay. Now freeze. Once your back is facing towards your target, you don't turn anymore. That's actually the real trick behind this is don't turn. Okay, so you spin on your foot, your body turns, your back is towards the target, and you kick straight behind you, underneath your hip. That was a little bit better. Without falling. Okay. All right. So, so you're doing this, okay? You turn, and your weight goes over that foot. Look over your shoulder, pick up, kick straight behind you. Okay? Turn, look, kick. Okay? As you're doing this, you want to make sure that only the spot at the very bottom of your heel hits your target. 20 of them, 10 on each leg. Make sure your head is up. You're not looking under your body. You're looking over your shoulder. You're not looking around it. That'll make you turn. Okay? So you're here, you turn, look. That's what I get for looking at my target instead of those guys over there. Okay? I turn and look. Okay? Now, you're going to find you're going to kick about this high. How do you fix that? Well, it's pretty easy. Get your knee up. That way you can kick middle section. Okay? So you're here, turn and look. Okay? You're doing 10 of those on each leg. Right? Posture, hands, preferably good balance. Hopefully you guys got something better than this squishy stuff we're standing on right now. Okay? Great. Good job. It is. All right. Mr. Johnson, please. Yes, sir. So, you got those kicks. Front side turning back. Those are the basics. If you're a gold belt, I need you working on those back kicks and side kicks and turning kicks and front kicks. And that's pretty much it right now. You're not going to worry about anything much higher than that, okay? If you're a high gold belt, we're going to switch to crescent kicks. So high gold belts and above, let's switch to crescent kicks. Gold belts and below, low gold belts and below, you guys are going to do those front kicks again. This time, I don't want you kicking very low middle section. I want you kicking very high section. Making sure that you get your knee up, making sure that you're pointing the ball of your foot where it's supposed to be kicking. If your ankle stays bent as you kick high, you end up doing a kick called a high kick. We don't want those. Okay, it's a front kick. It has to still be moving in front of you. Okay, so Mr. Johnson, face the camera for a moment.
Mr. Malik says it's nice to see Dr. Kramer and Mr. Johnson on YouTube after so long.
Yeah, they're like
A little bit.
all right.
So
So
thank you.
Thank you.
all right, so crescent kicks. I need you guys to look at the size of Mr. Johnson's shoulders. It doesn't matter if he does inward crescent kick or outward crescent kick. The size should be just slightly bigger than his shoulders because he has to go from one shoulder up and through the head to the other shoulder. Okay, that's a crescent, right? So, it does not matter. Go ahead. Okay. Now, it's funny because he's got the same foot position that I was going to talk about. Do it one more time, please. But face that way. So I need you guys to pay attention to his ankle. Slow it down as much as you can. Okay. Yep. Inward, outward again. Doesn't matter. Okay. So I need you guys to watch his ankle. Okay. Wherever his toes pointed. If he's kicking that way and his toes point that way, then he's extending his ankle. And if any of you guys have ever been walking through a field and got your foot caught in like a groundhog hole, okay, then you know what happens to your ankle when you hit something with it extended from the sides. It doesn't go well. Your ankle isn't strong like that. So you need to make sure that your ankle is bent 90 degrees, your toes are pointed up as you kick. Okay, so that you're hitting with the edges of the foot, and you're not hitting with the sides of the ball of the foot. but the edges of the heel is really what you're aiming for on crescent kicks. Okay, so try it again. He raises his knee up, over, and out. Okay, face the camera for me. Because now becomes the second part, foot position and knee. On this one, if his, no, actually you're doing good there, okay? But you need to make sure that your knee comes up. He is right. But you need to make sure that your knee comes up on the opposite side of the direction you're kicking. So if he's doing an inward crescent with his right leg, he's kicking towards me, his foot, okay? His knee starts on the right and comes to the left. But if he's doing outward crescent kick, his knee starts on the left and goes to the right. That's kicking with the right leg. And of course, it would all be opposite for his other side. Okay, so now you got 40 kicks to do because you got 10 inwards and 10 outwards on both legs. Okay, your target on this, again, doesn't really matter what it is, but making sure that your target is also the height of your head. Okay, crescent kicks, they don't work well when you hit somebody in the body. They work well across the head. Okay, they don't really work well across the legs either. Okay, but you got to do a head high kick on this. Okay, so you guys who are doing front kicks, I want head level. You guys doing crescent kicks, I want head level. Do 10 outwards. I'll do 10 inwards on each side. Okay, facing the camera. All right. Whenever you guys are ready, just go. Okay, making sure, again, that your toes are pointed up. All right. Oof, this ground's really sticky for this. Okay. Making sure, again, that your posture is upright. You're not leaning forward. You're not leaning backwards. And you're not twisting your body to do a crescent kick. It all happens at the hips. Your hips can turn a little bit. They have to. Your knee pulls across right as you're extending to get that motion that goes left to right, right to left, whatever you're doing. Okay? Now, any comments?
Nope.
Any questions? Okay.
Nope. Make sure you ask questions if you have them.
Yes. Ask questions. I got Mrs. Hanson sitting there doing the comments and stuff. So if we're missing something or if there's something that you need, make sure you say so. Now, downward kicks. Gold belts, you don't have a kick that acts like a downward kick. Not really. Okay? So I'm going to make you guys do something just a little bit different. Okay? You were doing front kicks just now. I actually want you to do a thrusting front kick. So now you got to do the opposite foot position. Your ankle's going to be bent. Your toes are still pulled back. And instead of going out in, you're actually going to push on your heel and stomp up here on somebody. Okay? So you're thrusting out. Okay? That's why it's called the thrusting front kick. Up and out. Okay? Up and out. Hitting with that heel, you're not using the whole bottom, just the heel. Okay? Your knee has to come to your chest. Then you have to swing up so that your knee is here by your chest, the bottom of your foot points, and then you shove. Okay? Everybody else, that'll be high gold belts and below. Green belts, you guys could do those crescent kicks again. Blue belts and above, downward kicks. The hard part. You got somebody Mr. Johnson's height. A downward kick, my size to this size, there's really only one thing you should be doing, okay? Striking them somewhere in here because that's what I can reach easily. Making them bend over so that my downward kick can now come here to the back of the shoulder or even preferably the back of the head, okay? Notice that he's bent over, not even at 90 degrees, but his head is still at my height, okay? This is actually an important thing, okay? Because as I do my downward kick, my aim becomes the back of his head, okay? Or it becomes the base of the neck. or it becomes the back of the shoulders. Okay, downward means downward, not upwards downwards. Okay, all right, go ahead and stand up. Thank you. On his case, this should be really easy. Okay, he's actually aiming for the top of my shoulders, the collarbone. Okay, right here, the clavicle that goes from the sternum, that's this bone in the middle of your chest, to the outside edge of your shoulders. Okay, this should be really easy for him. A downward kick, you should have power from your eyebrows to your knees. Okay, you should be able to hit anything within that range with a downward kick really easily, but I want you guys to concentrate on stopping your kick right at belt level. So it's going to come up, over, down, and stop at your belt right as you pull it back in. Okay, so this should be fun. All right, inward, outward, does not matter. It works the same as a crescent kick, but your downward motion is always in the middle of your body, whether you go outward or inward. Okay, try it. This is a pretty difficult thing to do. Okay, try it again. See, he's going just below it, but he's still stopping above his knees, so I'm actually okay with this for the moment, for about 5 minutes. Okay, yeah, this is going to take a lot of abdominal strength, and it's going to take a lot of quad strength. Okay. Yes. Okay, so I want you to do 10 outwards, 10 inwards, stopping at about belt level. If you are a green belt, you should be doing crescent kicks, but even on a crescent kick, you're not bringing your foot up, over, out, and letting it fall to the ground. Okay, we don't kick like that. Keeping that knee up. Okay, making sure that your balance is there. Gold belts, thrusting front kicks. I want everybody to be doing 40 right now because the crescent kicks and the downward kicks have 2 of them, inwards and outwards. Okay, so 20 on each leg. Let's try it.
Yes, sir.
Inwards, outwards. Okay, so, and stop and pull it in. And pull it in. Okay, outwards, inwards. Okay, making sure that you stop right at your belt and pull it in. No, it's not easy. Not time to be done yet.
It is 11:30.
Keep going. All right. So, downward kick, foot position, same as crescent kick, same as thrusting front kick, but you're not hitting with the bottom of the heel, but the back of the heel. Okay, toes are up. Well, ankles bent at 90 degrees. I like that description better because your toes really aren't pointing up. They're still pulling back towards you. Now, I think it was last week, somebody asked a question about how do you get the ball of your foot to, or your toes to bend so that you're not hitting your toes all the time. Okay. Again, that gets into some of those stretches I was talking about. Up against a wall, putting the ball of your foot right against it and sliding down, forcing those toes to go as 90 degrees as possible. Keeping the front of your ball of your foot touching the wall. Okay. There's really no good answer to make it easy. It's just constant stretching that way. When you do squatting, okay, your toes, the ball of your foot into the ground, that kind of stuff. Okay, just making sure that your toes are always lifting up. You're standing in line, really work on getting those toes up off the ground, but keeping the ball of your foot and your heel flat on it. Okay, lots of things, but it all comes down to just stretching like crazy until it happens. Okay, so ready for another?
Yes, sir.
He's loving it. He really is. All right. So, anytime you are doing kicks, make sure you pay attention to the name. Okay, it gets really important because you have kicks like a reverse turning kick and like hook kicks. Okay, no, they are not always done spinning backwards. Okay, you can do either one of those moving forwards like you would for a side kick. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, hook kicks and reverse turning kicks, you should be doing a side kick. If you don't know what a reverse turning kick is, you should be doing hook kick. Okay? Side kicks, I told you there's not enough of them. Okay? You're going to be doing 20 of those, but this time, again, not that middle section stuff. I want you reaching up as high as you can. You're going to find your body tilting. That's okay. As long as your head's not pointing at the ground, it's still pointing relatively up from the ground. Okay? Hook kicks. Here's a fun one. Okay? They are not angled high to low. They're not angled low to high. They're flat to the ground, no matter where your target is. If I'm doing a hook kick to Mr. Johnson's knee, my foot travels flat to the ground. If I'm doing it, what?
He looked at his pants like, it's dirty.
Okay, now, if I'm doing a hook kick to his chest, I would not use a hook kick for the middle of the body. This just isn't that kind of kick, but you can. Okay, it travels flat to the ground. Up high. Okay, my high is high. Okay. My middle section kick was pretty much a high hook kick for me. Okay, that's all right. Stand up. Okay, kicking up high. My foot is still going to travel flat to the ground, even though it's aimed upwards. Okay, so here, hook kick, flat to the ground still. Okay, there's no downwards motion and there's no upwards motion. Okay, so for those of you guys doing hook kick, you're going to do 15 of these on each leg. I chose 15. I know it's a little bit different, but I want you to do them slow. I want you to do at least 10 of them middle section, and they can be low middle section. You're just getting used to that motion, making sure that they travel flat to the ground. Then 5 of them up high. Hook kicks are designed to be a high level kick. They're not designed for the body or the legs. They can be used there, but they're meant for the head. Okay, and listen to the name, hook. When you're hooking something, what do? Okay, if you think about fishing, you throw that hook out there, you catch onto something and you pull it in. Your hook kick is going to pull just a little bit. Okay, so you're not going just side to side, you're going up and behind your target to hit from behind and pull forwards. Okay, hook kicks, show them. Okay, so it goes really side to side, that's okay, but not 100% correct. Not bad, but not 100% correct. But it should pull in just. Oh, sorry. Okay, so face me. And actually, Mr. Hanson, sir, I need somebody a little closer to my size, guys. So, all right. If I'm doing this, okay, my hook kick is going to come up, around, over his shoulder, not to where his ear or jaw is, not to this section, but it's actually going to hit back here where the back of the neck is and pull him in as I hit. Okay, so, Mr. Hanson, sir, take a walking stance. I'm making him get a little bit lower, guys, because if I go too high, I don't really want to kick. Well, I really want to kick him, but I don't really want to kick him. Okay, so, all right, my foot is going to come up and around to the back and pull him in a little. Okay, this kick is not a power kick exactly. It's more of a speed kick. Okay, so you're catching and pulling. Okay, I'll go a little bit longer. Okay, again, I don't really want to hit him and hurt him. Okay, so here, and pull. All right. Yep. There's a reason why I had you moved.
I did not do such a thing. You're the one that missed.
That's all right. So he thinks I miss.
That's why I
Well,
looked
your
the way
foot
I
slid back.
I want all of you guys out there. He thinks I miss. All right. Are you ready? Okay, here, and pulling in. Okay, using the back of the heel to pull in. All right, so if you have a pole, it works really well. You come up and around, grab on, pull yourself in. If you can pull yourself in, well, if you move towards the pole, you're doing it right. Okay, if you're hitting somebody, chances are they're going to bend down if you're hitting them in the back of the head. Okay, so 15 of those, 10 middle, 5 high. You guys doing side kicks, all of them high, preferably. You guys already did middle section earlier. Okay, so Mr. Johnson.
Yes, sir.
Mr. What?
Am I good?
No.
Haha.
All right. I want you guys to watch these guys as they do this next kick. Okay? So, Mr. Hanson, back up just a little bit. You're going to kick second. Mr. Johnson, I'll have you kick first. Back up a little. You're going to do a reverse turning kick. Reverse turning kick is easier turning backwards, but you have to think about the opposite motion of a turning kick. Okay? So, he's going to spin on his foot just like a back kick. His rear end is going to move because he's going to bend his knees. I hope you guys heard that. You guys thought you were going to get away from hearing that? Bend your knees. Okay, so he turns, he bends his knee, he puts his weight on it, and it comes straight through. And after he hits his target, he starts bending his knee. Okay? Yes, that's fine. Okay? Now, you can go all the way through. Oh, yeah. Kick. Okay, it looks a lot like a hook kick, but it's not. His leg is not pulling in towards him like a hook kick. Okay, now on the other hand, Mr. Hanson, being the upper rank, should have better control of his body than Mr. Johnson. This is all theory, all right? But we're going to find out. Mr. Hanson,
Sir.
I would like you to do a reverse turning kick.
Control.
Moving forwards, not backwards. Spinning forward. Nope, that's spinning backwards. I want you spinning forwards like a side kick.
Yes.
Moving that direction and do a reverse turning kick.
Oh!
Let's see it.
So,
Go. Come on. People are waiting. No, that's backwards.
Swing.
I did say this was all theory. I want you guys to know. So, one more time. So,
Welcome to live taekwondo, everybody.
all right.
Oh,
So,
Vivian's on. Miss
hi.
Bull.
Awesome.
Hi, Miss Bull.
Hello. All right. So you have to move this way, but you still have to do a reverse turn.
She says spongy stuff, not so easy to spin on.
You are
okay, I got it
absolutely correct.
I got it now.
Let's see it. No,
Nope.
I do not want a tornado style kick. Okay, you
Sir.
get one more shot, and then
try
I get to show you. Oh, maybe I'll give Mr. Johnson a shot on it too here in a second.
That's not possible.
Go ahead, sir.
Go.
It is possible. All right, Mr. Johnson.
Yes, sir.
Let's see. That was pretty close. Don't
Sorry.
forget, you got to bend your knee. You got to full opposite motion, everything. Okay? It was a little more of a hook kick if you notice what his leg did. Okay? Now we're getting somewhere. Okay?
What kick are we doing?
Now I want you to do it lead leg.
Huh? Yes, sir.
Lead leg, reverse turning kick. He's got the idea. Okay, so
I get it now.
okay, so I want you guys, if you're doing reverse turning kick, just to be a pain, okay, I want you to do 10. I want you to do 10 where you're spinning backwards on each leg. I want you to do 10 where you're moving forwards on each leg. And I want you to do 10 as a lead leg. Okay, you could do that with any kick. Some of them just don't work as well. Reverse turning kick works actually really well as a lead leg kick. It really does. Okay, so try that. Mr. Hanson, I'll make you do the 10 lead leg reverse turning kicks. Mr. Johnson, I'll have you do the 10 moving forwards like a side kick.
Yes.
Face the camera when you guys do this,
Yes.
because your foot still has to be flat to the ground.
Yes.
Okay, try it. All the way through, Mr. Hanson. Has to go all the way out behind you and everything. There you go. don't forget, you got to retract your kick. That means you got to bend your knee at the end of the kick as well. Okay, so you've got reverse, you've got moving forward, and you've got, ooh, I guess I could stay right there, lead leg, reverse turning kick. Okay, your leg comes up and it pulls behind you without pulling in towards you. Now, just because I know that we have a couple of red belts out there, and because we have one who is going to be a black belt here pretty soon, I've got an interesting question. I am not going to answer it until I hear at least 3 answers. So
that means from the crowd.
Yes, that means from you guys. Which of those 2 kicks, hook kick and reverse turning kick, is the basic level kick of the 2 of them?
Ask the question again.
Between hook kick and reverse turning kick, which one of them is the basic level kick? So you have front kick that leads into thrusting front kick and twisting kicks and crescent kicks. You've got a side kick and a back kick that lead into things like, you know, hook kicks and spinning.
Our high blue belt
kicks.
should be able to try to answer this too.
Okay. Yes. Anybody? I want to hear any of your answers. Which one is more basic? Hook kick or reverse turning kick? Which is more basic? So, sir, hands off.
Let's see. Miss Bull says reverse turning. Soriano say reverse turning. Miss Matthews says hook kick.
Now, that's 3 answers. So now I'm going to give it to you guys. Reverse turning kick is the more basic of the kicks. Okay. It is a more simple kick. There's less movement to it. Okay. You're using your hip and then you use your knee.
Miss Carr was a little bit slower, but she said reverse turning kick as well.
Yes. Okay. See, so you guys have actually been listening. That's good. Okay. Reverse turning kick uses your hip and then uses your knee. That's a more simple motion. Okay. Hook kick, on the other hand, uses your hip and your knee all at once and forces you to do it twice. Okay. Because you have to pull it all back in right at the end of the kick. Okay. So, yes, reverse turning kick is the answer. All right. Oh, we only have 8 minutes. So, Dr. Kramer, is there anything? Is there?
No.
All right. In that case,
There's a birthday wish.
there is. We have a high gold belt out there.
His birthday was the 14th.
His birthday was about 3 days ago on the 14th.
2 days.
Mr. Malik, happy birthday. I'm going to make everybody who's here do it because I am absolutely terrible about this. But hey, you guys, come here.
Yes.
Yeah, that's you too. You're everybody.
Yes.
So,
I passed it.
okay. As loud as you can. Happy birthday. Ready, set, go.
Happy birthday.
All right, there you go. Happy birthday, Mr. Malik. So I told you guys that towards the end here, I was going to tell you about a couple of videos that I'm going to be making, more than a couple. I've been really struggling. How do I get you guys to train?
Oh, Miss Anwar is on. She's just silent.
Oh,
She's just been silent the whole time.
hi. Hello, Miss Anwar. So, how do I get you guys to still kick and punch, block hard? How do I get you guys to hit hard? Especially when you're at home and you can't be punching doors and you can't be punching walls, windows. I doubt you want to be punching your TV. But, you know, what it's come down to is, you know, I've been wanting to do this for a lot of years anyways. And for those of you guys who have a Taekwondo book, start looking through it. Under the training equipment section, there is this thing called a forging post. It's exactly what it sounds like, okay? It's a post that is put in the ground. It comes up and it's beveled. That means it's cut at an angle, okay? And you put stuff on it and you hit it a lot. And you kick it a lot. I'm going to be making a video on 1, possibly 2 forging posts that I'm going to be making and why I chose the certain kind there are. So those of you guys who have a book or have access to a book, Start looking through it because you're going to find several different kinds. There's one that's buried in the ground. There's one that it's designed to be outside. There's one that is designed to be indoors. There's one that's also designed to be mobile. Okay, I'm choosing to do the one that's in the ground, that's more permanent. And I'm going to be telling you guys why I chose the place to put it, all that stuff. That way you guys can, make the best choice possible. But you can expect those videos hopefully starting tomorrow, assuming that weather holds out. So otherwise, we are going to be doing more of the line technique videos and higher ranking pattern videos. And you guys can expect those to be coming up soon. So if you guys have questions, if you have requests that you want to see us doing here, let us know. Hopefully Dr. Cameron will be joining us a little more on her weeks off. And we will let you guys know about getting back to real classes and all that stuff. But as far as I know, we do plan on doing online video classes like this. Well,
Till we don't have to anymore.
Until we absolutely don't have to anymore, and we might keep up at least one a week after that, perhaps, maybe. We'll see. So I think that's pretty much it. Again, I'm sorry for starting a little late today, guys, but
It should be.
we had some technical issues that we're going to figure out. So everybody, we started easy. We might as well finish easy.
He's helping your mom. I said.
All right, well, I
he's
guess
helping
you're
your
stuck with me and Mr. Johnson here at the end. Everybody, Trinit. Sabonimke, face us, please. Kunye.
mom.
Isa.
Come up, Samita.
Good job, guys. We'll see you next week.
That was cool.
Hold on,
And
we're
my
not
legs
out
are
yet.
still
Hold
hurting
on.
from
Hold on.
last Saturday when
Hold
we
on.
did jump kicks. It was fun. It was fun.